up to 95 kilometers charge on EV. I've got no idea why that is the case. So for an adult like me, it's actually quite hard to step in and out. This one feels actually really good. Very comfy. 1, 2, 3. Will spin quite a bit. Hey guys, this is Jerry, welcome to the channel. This is the all-new Chery Tiggo 8 Super Hybrid available in the New Zealand market. Today we are going to give a full tour for the exterior, interior, and also the POV Drive to let you know about the Chery Tiggo 8 Super Hybrid. This might be your best option for a plug-in hybrid that is really well equipped and also very budget friendly. First thing, let's go to the exterior. So what is the Chery Tiggo 8? This is a medium-sized SUV, not superly large, but not small in any ways. That is available on 7 seats, also available on the plug-in hybrid technology in New Zealand. There is only one trim available here right now. This is called Ultimate, which is kind of the highest spec compared to other Chery vehicles on the market. Starting price of this vehicle is $51,990 plus ORC. Today we are driving a one with black exterior. So from the exterior dimensions, the vehicle is just over 4.725 meters long. At the same time, the width is close to 1.9 meters and the wheelbase is close to 2.7 meters. As we mentioned, it's not super large, but the car does look substantial from some angles and things like that. What about the size? Let's go through that later. From the exterior design, the vehicle has the same sort of family language from all the other Chery products. Very familiarized the Chery grille at the front with the silver trims and also black trims just underneath. Over here, full LED daytime running lights and also sequential LED turning lights. Auto high beam is also equipped on this version. There's no fog lights underneath, so just the covers overall. Over here, we have the 19-inch alloys with Continental tires. They do perform okay from my testing, and alloy wheels is two-tone by the way. On the side, there's a lot of chrome finish around the door trims, also silver roof rails on the top. Over here at the side pillar, it looks quite boxy. There's not much of slopey roof lines, things like that. Yeah, that's the exterior. Then at the back, full LED tail lights with the running tail light bars, and again, they are sequential lights as well. As soon as you approach the vehicle, these lights will also talk to you, give you some animations and things like that. In the center, big Chery logo, Tiggo 8 plug-in hybrid, means this is a PHEV. Underneath, some chrome parts and also trims just over here. What do you think about the exterior? Well, the Chery Tiggo 8 may not be the super flashy model in terms of its exterior look, but still well equipped, and at the same time, it's doable for most family-friendly SUVs like that. Over here, we are getting a 18.4 kWh battery with NEDC cycle up to 95 kilometers charge on EV. At the same time, offers AC and DC charge plus vehicle to load function. The charging capability is all right for the vehicle. The good thing about the battery is they are LFP batteries, so arguably should be more durable. Now at the front, we got flush door handles. If you have the key with you, you can unlock and lock as soon as you walk to and walk away from the vehicle. Now at the front, we are having synthetic leather seats. The leather is quite different leather. They feel like fabric in some way, but they are definitely leather according to Chery. Electric seats and memory settings available on the driver and passenger seats. Along with that, being a higher spec compared to some other markets, this has heated cooling on both sides of the seats. There's only one funny thing which I'll explain that. Now over here, this is quite standard Chery steering, just like all the other Chery vehicles. Identical in terms of piano black buttons. You're going to get some fingerprints over here. Volume track buttons on the right, cruise control button on the left. Facial monitoring system is still active, but it's not as annoying as the early products from Chery last year. Gear shifter is on the right, indicator and wiper is on the left. There is no electric handbrake, by the way. It's all controlled through the center panel over here. But automatically, if you have your seatbelts on, put on drive, it's good to go. Now in front of us, that is a 12.3-inch dashboard. Just like all the other Chery and J-Cool or Moda vehicles, pretty clear, you get most of the information. You can also change the panels on the right, and at one panel you can also press and hold to have a navigation built in. Of course, you can also change that to a dark or light mode if you wish. Right now, in front of us, that's a head-up display. It's quite small. The letters and font is also quite minimal. Now in the center, this is what it tells apart from the other Chery Tiggo 8, Chery Tiggo 7, even including the Super Hybrid on the other Chery vehicles. In Australia, where the Tiggo 8 petrol version is available, you get the 2 screen panels, where this one is a much nicer display, I have to say. 14.6 inch, so not too small, not too huge either. You've got drop-down information over here to access to your quick buttons. You've got quick buttons underneath. You can also press and hold to, personalize them. You got background, you can swipe left and right. You also get air conditioning buttons underneath. There's very minimal air conditioning buttons to control, but this is still okay. At any time, if you are in any particular screens, you can also swipe up at any time to change whatever you like on the aircon, by the way. In terms of seating, you have seat heating, seat ventilation, and seat massage. But the massage is a funny one. Only the passenger on the left has massage settings, where the driver doesn't get massage. I've got no idea why that is the case. I guess my luggage at the front can enjoy a little bit massage, not myself. Anyway, going back to the settings, there are tons of information available in the setting menu, and we have things like HUD settings, drive selection, new energy, lights, quick control, lights are ambient lights by the way, vehicle settings, display. There are many features to go through. Potentially, I'll do a full tutorial about how this works and things like that. But to be very honest with you, this is actually very similar to the center screen that's available on other Chery vehicles, just in a different orientation, different, animation and graphic and things like that as well. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto are also available. So yeah, it's just packed with the features, by the way, for what this vehicle has. Anyway, another thing is the surround view camera. They are quite clear, just like all the other Chery products. You will not be disappointed by that. Air vents over here, 50-watt charging with active air blower just underneath, which is cool. And on the left, it's just the resting pad over there. 2 cup holders, some adjustments for your drive mode, EV, and aircon, things like that. And there is a very deep storage, not too wide, but at least it's fairly deep. Storage over there is also reasonable. Now underneath, you also get the big tunnel just over here. That's the Chery tradition. You've got plenty of storage space at the front. Now in terms of build quality on the side, they are very similar to the seat leather. They're all right, not too bad. Soft material and the leather material over here, leather paddings over here, plastic underneath. Some paddings on the top, just like the seats, some material over here. So everything feels quite, close to premium product for the price range. And yeah, I don't mind any of that either. On the top, you also get your panoramic sunroof, by the way. Now let's get to the second row. Let's go through the second part. So these seats, I'll go all the way, and the front has been set to my driving position at about 178 centimeters tall. I've got good amount of legroom, okay amount of foot space. Width is not too bad. The height of the seats are okay. The visibility through the second row is really good as well. Material is just like the front seats. Quite good, very premium actually. Over here, you got 2 air vents and 2 USB charging underneath and small pockets over there. Of course, you got pockets at the front. Armrest in the center, which are nice. Piano black again, so you'll probably get some scratches. The cool thing, you can also control the passenger seat from the back if you want to move it a bit further. And now I'll go to this side. This is what I've set. Instead of getting all the way back, I've set this driving position to my okay position. Not the most comfortable, but also not too cramped. So I've got just a little bit more leg room over here, and foot space is okay. So let's try the third row seats. Now getting the seats down is pretty easy. Just one pull over here, give it a little push, that'll go forward. Unlike some other bigger 7 seats, this tunnel over here is quite narrow. So for an adult like me, it's actually quite hard to step in and out. Let's give it a try. Ooh, my camera definitely hits the seats while we are moving that. Anyway, let's step inside. Have to get the headrest up. All right, let's tidy myself up. This is awkward situation, so I'll turn the camera around so you can see me. Anyway, headroom, not great. My head is, if I have to stay straight up, my head is definitely touching it. 178 centimeters tall, by the way. And over here, legroom is also very, very limited. So not the best in terms of, comfort at the third row. But do remember, this is not built for a big, large 7 seats anyway. If you're using this as an emergency seats, adult like me will be okay to about 10 minutes run for grocery and things like that. Or if you have a smaller child sitting in the back, they will be okay for the majority of the journey. Anyway, that's how the third row looks like. Now let's go to the boot. Power tailgate. It's also got a sensor power tailgate. If you have the key with you and the vehicle was locked, it will just automatically goes up after about 3 seconds or so. So from the back, the brochure doesn't really state the liters, but online search shows about 117 liters, so not much. But remember, this is not a huge size for 7 seats. If you are using this as a 5-seater row, you're going to get a much greater boot space, somewhere around 470 liters according to the online search. That's all right, not too bad at all. If you do drop the second row, it's going to be close to 2,000 liters, of course. The only downside about this 7-seat configuration is if you are actually going to use this vehicle as a 7-seater, there is no additional storage underneath, just taken by the battery and electronics. There's no space saver, by the way, and also this is your mobility kit for that fluid to go into the tire, and these are your cables. That's your triangle piece, that's your rear cargo tray just over here. So you can't really leave at the back all in one place, and if you leave it, there's not much space. But anyway, I guess just it's the weighing the balance. It is not a big car, but at the same time, it's probably good for emergency 7 seats if you want to use that way. Alright, we finally get to drive the Chery Tiggo 8 Super Hybrid. First thing, visibility. Side is good, front is reasonable, gap is okay, side is also not too bad. The rear one is the funny one. It's kind of zoomed in, doesn't feel the best, although you get really good clarity at the back. It's not easy to see everything at the back from my side anyway. Now, from the driving part, the vehicle is powered by a 1.5-litre turbocharged petrol motor, which is 4-cylinder, producing 105 kilowatts of power, 215 Newton meters of torque. They're not superb, but thanks to the EV motor at the front, it's actually got plenty of power. The EV motor alone is rated at 150 kilowatts of power. Chery doesn't really give you the official number on the combined power on this vehicle, but I would say it's around 200 kilowatts and total around 365 Newton meters also. Now coming to the EV, the battery size is 18.4 kilowatt hour LFP battery, and EDC range on EV charge is about 95 kilometers under full charge. Remember, you may not be able to get that, depending on the vehicle drive mode you select. Under the new energy, if you choose initial, it may drain all the way. If you choose the smart, it may just reserve it at about 25%. You can also force the EV charge to 30% all the way to 80%, whatever you like. So you can reserve the battery level at a different percentage on your liking. Now driving at low speed, since the vehicle is well charged, it's got really good, nice, easy EV driving overall. So the pedal feels very responsive. Single speed, by the way, there's just no transmission or there's hybrid transmission whatsoever. So there's no gear change in real world in any means. So that means very easy to travel. Brakes, accelerator feels alright. Being a plug-in hybrid, the brake can be touchy from occasions, but it's not too bad. Even the stop-start sensation is much better for some reason compared to the Omoda 9 and also the Chery Tiggo 7 Super Hybrid. I think this one is refined for some way, or maybe it's just a certain vehicle, so that means I can always take back my critics on the Omoda 9 or the Chery Tiggo 7 in terms of the deacceleration, how the brake feels. This one feels actually really good. Very comfy, very easy to travel at low speed. And then when it comes to HEV mode at low speed, the vehicle still trying to get as much as EV driving as you can, and then the engine also can turn into a generator to power the EV battery as well. So the noise level on this vehicle, even under HEV driving, is still fairly quiet and still fairly muted from the transmission or from the engine bay. In terms of no road noise, they are alright, not too bad at all. And in terms of suspension, this has the McPherson struts at the front, multi-link at the back. So good amount of support when you need it. In terms of handling, I've changed the steering specifically to sport mode. Otherwise, it's just simply too light. So go to sport mode, and under sport mode, the vehicle default goes to HEV on the EV drive setting. So that means petrol motor is ready to engage at any cases. But even traveling at the 60, I don't feel any petrol motor by the way. Do a quick turn around here, feels alright. The steering is somehow responsive. The consistency on this turning may not be as good as some other vehicles, but overall it is more of a comfortable, family-friendly SUV. You're not going to give too much of a complaint when you drive on the road like this. Let's do another turn over here, feels alright. The first pointer on the steering feels quite responsive, but when you do a larger turn, you can definitely feel the body roll on this vehicle by the way. And going through these bumpy roads over here, this is a good test. You can feel the suspension works okay. It's fairly comfy at the front on my seat, but you can feel, because the quite long chassis and long body, the weight at the back is quite substantial. The vehicle does have a little bit bouncy areas here and there. But anyway, the acceleration is just as smooth as you'd expect from a plug-in hybrid. There's very little hesitation when you put the foot down, just like that. And yet, the petrol motor still hasn't fully engaged, as we can see. Give it a try again. 1, 2, 3. It's pretty good acceleration. It's very easy to drive when you have enough charge, and the vehicle does reserve the battery at 25% at default. So you still got plenty of EV driving, even if your battery charge is low. And driving of this is quite similar to what you can find on the Chery Tiggo 7 Super Hybrid. Plenty of torque, plenty of power behind the wheel at any time for yourself, so you're not going to worry about lacking amount of power in terms of driving. Alright, we are ready in sport mode under HEV hybrid. Let's give it a try to see how this will go. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Wheel spin quite a bit, so it's turning the steering. It's good acceleration actually, very smooth. We got plenty of charge on the battery by the way. This was at 82% on the battery charge. That means just great amount of power. There's no lack of power in any ways. And at these speeds, if you're on sport mode, just great acceleration too. So that's not too bad. I do enjoy the acceleration on this vehicle, just like what you will find on the Chery Tiggo 7. They're identical drivetrains in terms of the power and also the battery technology in most ways. Anyway, traveling on the motorway, just as comfy as you wish. Very soft handling, but at the same time, very solid on-road drivability. Just comfort overall. It may not be sporty as you wish, but it is a comfortable vehicle in any way. So that is my review about the Chery Tiggo 8 Super Hybrid. Do you think this is the best value plug-in hybrid available in the New Zealand market? Please do let me know. I think this is packed with the features. If you don't mind the plug-in hybrid technology, it's got okay amount of EV driving range, probably up to 75 or 80 kilometers under real-world driving. At the same time, it's got good amount of gears and beautiful amount of features around the vehicle. If you found my video helpful, the best way to support the channel is to subscribe. As always, I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much.